How we doing, guys? How we doing? How we 10 people in here already. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Good music. Good music. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. That's good enough of that. How are we doing out there, everybody? How are we doing? Can you guys hear the music when I do the opening thing? Does the music play through? Put a 1 in the chat if the music plays through when I do that thing there. I still need to get my stream everything set up so it sounds better, but it's using this music that they give you with this thing here. All right, that should work out for now. Let's watch some of this crazy stuff that happened yesterday. It did play through good, good, good. Otherwise, it could just be a boring countdown screen. You know, like, why am I just watching it? They can't have from 2 to 0, but I gotta, one of these days, I'll pretend like I'm a young guy or whatever and set up a better intro screen or whatever they call those things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, all right, good. And it also lets me know that there's humans in the chat when they chat on the screen, so I know they're probably humans. Could be robots, but they're probably humans, and they're actually using their fingers. All the robots probably have fingers too. But anyway, let's get into some of this other stuff here. You guys probably sad about last night. We can talk about it a little bit. I just kind of want to see what all these silly people are saying. Not big, long, silly speeches. Just kind of some normal stuff here. So let's check and see what some of the happy lefties out there were talking about. That, like this lady here, for some reason.
Just woke up to the news that Dick Cheney is dead, and you can tell I literally just.
This is they're happy as somebody died. You know, it hasn't been in politics in 20 years, but whatever. I mean, his daughter has, but so what?
Woke up to the news that Dick Cheney is dead. So not only do we get a Muslim mayor of New York, but Dick Cheney is rotting in hell. What a day! Jihad is already winning. Just woke.
And if Jihad had their way or whatever with Sharia law, what would they do with her? Showing her face in public, right, guys? Not good to show your face and your hair in public if you're a true Muslim, right? Just saying. Some of these other ones here, they're happy or whatever here at the, I think it was he's in D.C. or whatever. Trump must go. Walking next to the Supreme Court when they did the tariff thing and all that stuff. Let's see what Nick says here.
So we're on Constitution Avenue right now. You have hundreds of protesters who have descended upon D.C. with Trump must go now, refusefascism.org.
Yeah, somebody said the left is weird. Hey, here's Aaron. Aaron 4419. I hate that they make you put the numbers in there. You probably don't want those numbers there, but I can't help it. There's a little bit of diversity. You got a black guy over here with a F ICE sign, F Trump shirt there, but there's a few others out there. In a town full of 75% minorities, you'd assume there's a few minorities out there, but you wouldn't think there would be that many white people out there in a town that's 75% minority, DC. But anyway, and I think you'll also see a lot of young and a lot of old. You don't see a whole lot of middle in between that kind of 30 to 50 kind of age. I'm trying to look for some of those. You'll see those ones under 30 and those ones over 50. But let me know if you see any of those 30 to 50s.
Is leading this protest. They're not just going to be here today.
You'll see the 30 to 50s in the minorities, yes, but will you see the 30 to 50s in the white population?
They're going to say they're going to be here all week as they're trying to get Trump out of office and grow a movement of, they said, millions of people.
Because they're working. That's a good point. I'll give you that. Yeah, a lot of people that age, typically at your working age, and the younger ones and the older ones retired, and the younger ones are, they don't have to work at McDonald's for today or something like that, right?
To try and get Trump out of office. You have signs like lifelong NC Republican against fascism. Trump must go now. All are the same signs as Trump must go now, because they all are being funded from refusefascism.org.
I was the one, he probably did his research and looked at the sign like, where's the small print? Oh, it's from this organization. It's from that organization. And if you likely do a deeper dive, which I'm sure the DOJ is doing, like who kind of sends money to this thing there, through a third party, likely to resist fascism, This NGO sends it to this shell company. This shell company sends it to this other shell company. That shell company sends it to resist fascism, just to make sure they don't look like they're partisan, right?
Guardians of keto, and MAGA is a cult. Fight the radical right, some signs say. Yeah, paparazzi out here. Oh, I'm just calling you paparazzi.
Yeah, the signs that are normal signs or whatever, they likely had their third grader, if they have a third grader, do it, or they have the artistic ability of a third grader. I'd probably agree with you on that one. The ones that are made by, some NGO or some Antifa 20-year-old or something like that, those are the nicer ones there.
You also have Enjoy Destroying Fascism, or the Bernie Sanders logo as it's written in the letters in font of Coca-Cola. Have a Zoran Mandami voter with the F Trump hat on. We're all just walking down Constitution Avenue right now. Meanwhile, you just have some tourists that just get caught up in this.
Well, at the same time, remember back in the day, a lot of people, when Biden was kind of doing some stupid things, a lot of people wanted to say F Biden, but it's not really a nice thing to say to want to do bad things to a person, without their consent. And then all of a sudden we had another way to sort of say it without saying it, let's go Brandon, right? So more people are saying, let's go Brandon. And sort of that way we don't seem like that we're saying F a person, because the word F means something. I don't even like to say it, and to do that to another person that they keep thinking that he does to people nobody should do it to, but they don't mind that saying it to him. That's weird, even though he's married.
Crap, imagine coming here from like Europe or something, like, oh, we're gonna go see Washington, D.C. Such a beautiful place with nice buildings, and then you just come across this.
Yeah, Michael knows that. How many rallies did you go to, Michael, back in the day? Actually, you might be from Canada, but I'm sure you didn't mind saying stuff like that.
So we're on Constitution Avenue right
now. You're on Constitution Avenue, and nobody there really understands what the Constitution is. Trump's breaking the Constitution by doing what the courts say. How is he doing that?
I've grown up in those circles. Everybody needs some spice and some color in their lives. Life's a lot better. That's the coolest thing about America. Americans have no culture except for multicultural.
Well said.
And we need to teach people how to embrace that. These crusty white people need to learn how to embrace it.
Crusty white people need to learn how to embrace the spiciness or whatever is what Welsh person says. I don't know why she's popular or whatever. She's easy to make fun of because she says silly things, I guess. But for some reason, maybe she's popular on the left or something like that. I haven't even seen her until I see some of these type videos. 40 more seconds here, Nick. Here.
How'd you get here, Portland Chicken?
Oh, Portland Chicken's there.
Portland Chicken all the way.
Oh my goodness, this is 3,000 miles away, and these guys are still interviewing each other. At least Nick's interviewing him. At least he's got a smile on. So,
Hey out here.
Hi, Nick.
What made you want to come out here, Portland Chicken?
This is a pretty monumental event, I think. We'll see how it pans out. Good talking with you.
Where's Pam at? People all the way from Portland came out here. He's the Portland Antifa Chicken. He's on the front page of the City Council of Portland with them, and he's also one of the people that's been leading the stuff that's been happening at the ICE building in Portland. Wow, people have traveled long and far today for this. Oh my gosh, they got the people from Portland here. You have the Portland Chicken.
I'm trying to see if I recognize anybody else there. Yes, maybe the frogs there might have came from Portland too.
How did you get here?
Portland sends its regards. I think I might have seen that guy there.
Portland Chicken.
Yeah, I think I might have saw that guy there, but not really. They're just socialists.
Portland Chicken all the way out here.
Hi, Nick.
What made Did you want to come out here, Portland Chicken?
This is a pretty monumental event, I think. We'll see how it pans out.
See how it pans out. What's this one about here? You guys doing good in the chat? You guys behaving yourselves half the time? You don't have to behave yourselves the whole time, just half the time. You guys got good jokes there. Yeah, they took the U-Haul. I think the same U-Haul that went to deliver them there, they're going to send it up to New York, pick up some stuff from New York, and then take it down to Texas and Florida. So that U-Haul is getting a lot of miles. What's going on here? Interrupted Speaker Johnson's press conference, shouting that he has an obligation to call Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries to discuss the shutdown. He had his obligation. He did his job. Let's see what she has to say, and then I'll comment about democracy, right?
For Mr. Jeffries or Mr. Schumer, I am part of the American people, and I believe that, and you should respect free speech. I'm asking you a question if you're ready to have a conversation with the other side. You represent all of us. You are the speaker for all of us, sir. You have an obligation not just to speak lies to the American people. You have an obligation to call the leadership of both parties and bring us together and solve this problem together, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. We're going to go ahead and ask you.
I'm a member of Congress. I don't know. Yes.
I'm sorry. Can I just
Of course.
I'm a member of Congress. So as a member of Congress, you probably have his phone number that you could contact him and tell him your opinions there, not to disrupt an event out here.
You're welcome.
We brought Leader Jeffries and Leader Schumer in, and we had a discussion. The president
You're more special than other people that are asked to leave. Is that what I'm saying? Hearing here?
said, please don't shut the government down. It would cause all this pain to the American people.
For Mr. Jeff.
Yeah. And she wouldn't. Any other person, the Capitol Police person there would have walked them away like she was about to do. But she's a member of Congress there. So evidently it's her house, not the people's house, right? I'm a member of Congress. So she gets to stay there and break the rules of this little press conference here, because since she's not a member of the press, that's kind of who gets to be there and ask questions, right? Democrats just, they don't see what was I going to say about democracy? Yeah, democracy in this case here was that you already had your chance at democracy when you voted for the CR and everything, clean resolution. You had your chance to vote. You had your chance to talk, to give your opinion when that was going through. At that point there, you lost that thing because they had more votes than you did to pass the CR. He's in no obligation to talk to Chuck Schumer. All he has to do is take the paper that says the bill got passed to the leader of the Senate. That leader of the Senate, John Thune, has tried 14 times to use democracy, as you like to call it, to get that bill passed. In that case, democracy counts on 60 people to pass that CR. But unfortunately, 4 or 5 Democrats still have not sort of got permission from Chuck Schumer to pass that CR. But my guess is that by tomorrow, it will get passed. I guess is that tomorrow, because the politics will be done by then, You'll have it played out. They'll get all their victory speeches today. And then tomorrow they'll say, okay, now that we won, we're going to sort of get down to business with Trump and fight him at every turn and all this stuff, except for the fact that they'll have punished the American people for the past 37 days or something. Anyway, it's enough of my talk. You guys don't want to hear me? You want to hear this other silly nonsense out here? Robbie Starbuck had a nice little post here. Here's what happens in coming years in New York City. A huge number of business will leave New York City. Cops will retire in record numbers. Welfare for illegals and trans surgeries will go up. Homelessness will go up. Cost of living will go up. Crime will definitely go up. Taxes, of course, will go up. Tourism will go way down, in my opinion. He says it's regular down. Landlords will flee. That makes sense. Property values will drop dramatically. Financial fraud by officials will increase dramatically. School indoctrination will go up exponentially. city debt will rise like crazy. Miami and Dallas will become big finance hubs and make a lot of money because New York City is so bad. Eventually, they'll run out of money, and Kami Mamdani will blame capitalists for his failure. That's a good prediction. That's a good prediction. Make sure he saves that one. I think that's very likely. There's a MAGA voice person here. Let's see what she says.
Particular problem here in Chester County. Well, it's election day, and we have been getting tons of phone calls and messages about one
I'm not sure where Chester County is. I think it's Virginia, maybe.
particular problem here in Chester County. Anyone who's a registered independent or third-party voter in the county and showed up to the polls this morning was told their name is not on the voter rolls. It is a county-wide issue and one that, as of 12:15 this afternoon, when I'm filming this, has not been resolved yet. Chester County Voter Services tells Action News it's delivering supplemental poll books to all 230 precincts as quickly as possible. In the meantime, independent and third-party voters are able to cast provisional ballots, but we're told that there was a lot of confusion early this morning and instructions were varying precinct by precinct, and a lot of voters just ended up walking away. Chester County Voter Services says it is going to conduct a formal review to figure out how this happened and how to prevent it from happening again, but that does not seem to be easing the frustration and mistrust that a lot of voters are feeling today. There are more than 75,000 registered independents and third-party voters in Chester County. That's about 19% of all registered voters.
Interesting. Oh, there's another.
Well, it's election.
There's a nice, pretty picture there of the waterfall there. You look at that while I ask this question here. Was when you think the shutdown will end, will it'd be more like this one there? Will they have to end the filibuster to do it? Just have over 50 votes to pass it, which is dangerous if the Democrats get in charge? Or do you think it's more like my idea where it'll pass in the next few days? Because Democrats will think that they got their victory in the things there, and so they'll sort of be nice to the American people and let the feds go back to work at that point there. Or number three, will they just keep it going and longer just to prolong the pain? I don't know. One for filibuster, two for soon, three for long time. That makes sense? No, I should change that up. I'll change it up. Sorry. One for quickly, two for filibuster, three for whenever the Republicans come to the table or something like that. Oh, why do you think a long time on that one, Jeff? Interesting. Four for popcorn. Like, as soon as they get popcorn, then they get their feces taken care of. It's cool. That's cool. You guys are awesome. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. But that's a nice little dog he's got there. Okay. But anyway, that's Travis. He's the guy that sort of keeps an eye on some of the streamers down there, including Honey Badger Mom. So he does a lot of adventure stuff. So I like to shout out his channels for the heck of it there. Travis Neliton. Neliton is how you pronounce his name. AOC, what did this rocket scientist have to say here?
ICE agents here soon, and long threatened to pull funding from this city. We know that there's a plan to bring more ICE agents here soon, and he's been very clear about the fact. He endorsed Cuomo last night in the 11th hour. Are you at all afraid of what that fight is going to be?
I think the reason Trump's kind of pausing on the sending more ICE agents to New York City is, one, to see what happened if this vote here, two, and then if it was Mamdani, like it likely was going to be making sure that those particular agents that he sends there know 100%, what to do and how to do it, and make sure that they're backed by federal law at that point there, So they say, you can't fire anybody here. You can't. New York City, you can't sue particular ICE agents, things like that. They're doing their job. So, make sure it's all kind of back by the book and they know the right level of enforcement to use on the people that are there. It'll be crazy if they start to sort of ramp numbers in New York City. I hope he does, but we shall see.
going to look like in the coming weeks? Do you think Mamdani is ready to take on President Trump?
Well, it doesn't surprise me. President Trump
Next
is
year.
a 34-time convicted felon, and he is endorsing a
Just for your legal sake here, AOC, you're not officially convicted until you're sentenced. Please let me know when Trump was sentenced for those 34 felonies, please. I'm waiting to hear when he was sentenced. I know you guys like to say follow the law, that Democrats are all about law and order. So maybe you should know what the law is, because you're not convicted until the judge has sentenced you. Just FYI, just give you a little bit of information out there. Yes, they said he was guilty, found guilty. We'll give you that. He was found guilty. But you cannot say he's convicted until he's sentenced. This is, I'm trying to teach a high schooler about rocket science here, I know, but still.
a sexual harasser that has multiple accusations, very credible accusations and investigations against them. Birds of a feather, they flock together. And we have to understand how grave this threat is. We know that Donald Trump has not only been convicted of committing crimes, but that the Supreme Court has given him a blank check to continue to commit crimes while in office. So we cannot underestimate the threat and the danger of this moment, but we cannot respond.
I didn't know. I mean, I haven't looked into their history or whatever, but some of the judges were foreign born. Not that it matters if they're American citizens. It's interesting, but if they sort of have stronger feelings for their home country or something like that, and they're like or globalist in nature because of their foreign born things. That's kind of an interesting thing. But anyway, so as long as they're American citizens, they got the right to judge. They're judges,
To that threat with cowardice. We cannot respond to that threat.
Supreme Court, though, needs to get involved, though.
With complying in advance. We have to respond to that threat with a strong, organized, cohesive, and strategic effort to fight for working families, rule of law, and civil rights for every American.
Sorry, I keep interrupting, but what do you think the odds are in the next 4 years that Mickey Sherrill might become Mike Sherrill to get more votes at her next election? Any chances that Mickey might become Mike Sherrill just to
across age, ethnicity, gender, and geography, and I believe that we can do that.
I doubt it. I'm just saying it's kind of her name is kind of funny. Did AOC say anything smart in her thing there? I wasn't even listening to what she said half the time.
Trump has long.
What does New York City do? Votes in Mamdani. You all deserve to learn the hard way. Is this who Sassafras is? I don't know.
It's the same beliefs as these countries that don't allow women to speak, drive, vote, go to school. I actually love it whenever I see a female saying that she's voting for Zohran Mamdani, and remembering back when all of these women were so mad that Trump overturned Roe v. Wade and gave the decision back to the states, they were saying that they feel like they're living in a Handmaid's Tale. Okay? Do you guys not understand that the makers of the Handmaid's Tale had it take place in the United States so that we could actually understand it better? It was actually based off the Islamic Revolution in Iran. Like where Sharia law was put into place. And now you're going to go vote for someone who holds the same beliefs as these countries that don't allow women to speak, drive, vote, go to school, show their face. But you have it bad here. Oh, not to mention, he's also pictured with the unindicted co-conspirator from the World Trade Center bombings of 1993. Since you guys want to accuse Trump of automatically being guilty when it comes to Epstein since he's pictured with him, could be. So could Mamdani. Just saying.
Very true. Very true. Spot on take there. Nice job. More AOC. Try not to do any cringe stuff here. I can't hear it, so I'm just going to say blah, 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 blah. This is interpretation. Blah, 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 blah 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 blah. Let's see if she changes it up here.
What's your message to New Yorkers who didn't support him initially that you want them to know about him as a mayor? I think it's super important because from house to house, it doesn't matter how we yesterday. We have to be smart.
No, more blah 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 blah. That's all I'm hearing. But you know the funny thing is about this, you always hear, like in Portland, whenever there's somebody talking or whatever and trying to have a conversation, you hear the blasted music kind of going above and beyond everything, drowning out all the conversations and the opinions out there. I'm not sure if they're doing it for the same reason here. You know, there might be some like normal liberals here, you know, that might question some of Mamdani's practices and talking to the press about those things, you know, but they can't have that stuff be heard. You know, it makes no sense. So they're blasting this music so you don't have those conversations, you know, or maybe there's respectful press there that are asking Mamdani, you know, how do you plan to implement these free bus rides? You know, how do you plan to do that? Like, I can't hear you. The music's too loud. Hey, contact my press office, you know. I think that's why they're blasting the music that loud. That'd be my guess. Here's another civilian here.
And vote him in. Let them. I could not care less who gets voted into office in New York City. I will be so transparent with you guys. Let them vote him in. Let them vote that communist into office and let them just reap the consequences of what comes from socialism and communism. Because the same people who are screaming about how their SNAP benefits were taken away and how they can't afford to eat this month because the government took away their SNAP benefits are the exact same people who are voting for Mamdani, which is just more socialism. Because again, people said this 1,000,002 times, if you guys allow the government to feed you, then you allow the government to starve you. What do you think is going to happen if he gets elected into office? He can take away that funding for your house, for your food, for your buses at any point in time, whenever he wants. And truthfully, I think that y'all just need to experience that. See what happens, reap those consequences. That's the only way that you'll learn that socialism is not the way to go. So if New York City agrees and elects in a Muslim, communist, socialist, whatever, then so be it. Let it burn. Let it burn. As somebody who lives in a red state in Texas, like let it happen. And I love Abbott for him saying he's going to impose a 100% tariff on any person moving from New York to Texas because it's going to feed our economy down here and you guys will have learned a lesson. So fucking go for it. Love that for you.
Yeah, what I like is what she said. There's similar in the same vein as, you know, when Democrats tell, are you happy with your vote for Trump? Are you happy that you voted for Trump? Do you regret your vote for Trump? She's sort of sitting that back on all these Democrats that voted for Mamdani out there. Like, are you going to be happy that you voted for Mamdani a year or two from now? Are you still happy that, you know, how's your local grocery store doing? You know, you notice an increase in the amount of people that are out in the streets, you know? You got pickpocketed the other day. That's terrible. Do you regret your vote now? Like, no, I made the right decision. Socialism is awesome. The pickpocketer, he needed the money more than I did. The homeless people, they want to be out there and everything. They like the outdoor stuff. They'll come up with every single excuse they can to say that their reason was right for voting for him. Wait for it. What's some serious here? Let's see what she said.
And she did not answer, and she doesn't have to answer. No, she doesn't have to answer. I think she's busy. So it's went to voicemail, and I left her a voicemail, and I asked her to please consider all of us Virginians, that she will represent all of us and not just some of us. And I wished her success. If she is successful, Virginia will be successful. That's what I wish for her. And I asked her to support policies that will unite us, that will not divide us, that will strengthen our families and keep us safe. And that if I can ever be of help doing that, I'm here. I'm ready to volunteer. After all, apparently I have nothing else to do. But volunteering isn't something that's new to me. I mean, I ran a...
He was in the military, for one thing. It was, how's this concession speech going? This Sliwa gave here, if it was a concession speech.
Tennessee. We're not leaving to Florida or Georgia or North Carolina.
Oh, that guy behind him. I know that guy. He does a lot of videos too that I've seen that it's like makes fun of leftists.
Or South Carolina, Texas, or Tennessee. We stay, we fight for what we know is right. Never surrender. We improve, we don't move. This movement continues on in the subways, in the streets, in the neighborhoods.
But if he backed down when he knew the odds of him winning were not good, it would have been a much tighter race. If you add his numbers up and Cuomo's up or whatever, I think they nearly tied. I think Mamdani still would have won by a little bit, but things would have been different, maybe. Somebody else would have changed their minds from Mamdani, like, oh, okay, so Cuomo actually has a chance of winning, so I'm going to actually vote instead of sit at home,
Where all of you, the people, are from.
Oh, yeah. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Continue to fight.
There you go. You get the point. We're just kind of going over some silly stuff from yesterday here just to do something here, give you guys some little mild entertainment. There's not a whole lot going on. It's rainy outside and yucky. Let's see what DeSantis said about some of the stuff here. Anybody from Florida?
Well, first of all, Jack would have won 4 years ago, and he would have won tonight if you just take all the Republicans who've left New Jersey since I've been governor and moved to Florida. If they could have still voted in New Jersey, he would have won both of those races. Same thing with New York City. Maybe not a Republican, but, Giuliani would not be able to win with this electorate the way it is now. Because what happens, Sean, is a leftist politician gets in, whether it's destroying a state like California, Illinois, New York, whether it's a city like...
Yeah, he makes a good point here, doesn't he? Is like if all the normal people leave this state or city when it goes crazy, then what does that leave in that area? Just the crazies. Democrats.
New York City or Chicago. And the people that it tends to drive off are the center-right voters. And so when they leave, the resulting electorate is actually more liberal. That's how you go from Lori Lightfoot to Brandon Johnson in Chicago, which is digging the hole deeper. That's why you've gone from 8 years at de Blasio, now leapfrogging here 4, to have Mamdani, who's even going to be worse. And what we found in Florida is, first of all, we're not asking for anyone to move. I mean, people have talked about...
Yeah, let me make a point there. Well, 3 kind of, but you take the person who had at least half a leg working, over the ones that didn't have a leg at all working,
Putting a tariff on people moving in at this point, because so many have done so. And I know a lot of people in Florida would think that would be necessary. But here's just the truth. You look at all 49 other states since I've been governor and look at who's migrated to Florida, all 49 more Republicans have moved to Florida than Democrats. Vermont, New York, Illinois, you name it. And the result of that is not just migration, because we've had a lot of people shift within Florida. But when I got elected, we had 300,000 more registered Democrats in Florida. Today, we have 1.4 million more Republicans.
Interesting. Do I really want to hear what this Jamie Raskin says here? I don't. How long is this stupid? 44 seconds. I can handle it.
Some reporters give me a hard time. You said he's accomplished what FDR said. I said, no, he's at the beginning of his career. He's got Rooseveltian ambition. Is that all right with you? That's the highest compliment I've ever seen. Well, I've been talking a lot about Roosevelt. When he made that famous speech in 1932 at the convention where the lords of capital all hate me.
What's wrong with his? Is he's been wearing that rag on his head too long or something? I don't know.
Denounced me, they attacked me. I welcomed them. I I revel in their hatred because I stand with the working people of our state. This is all right. He has Rooseveltian ambition for me. So yeah.
He's there already.
Oh yeah, let's go with.
And ambition. Okay. Wait, but he keeps saying all he wants to be is the mayor of New York. Does he have further ambitions? He says that's his pinnacle.
Within our elections in this criminal review, by whom and why? And also, in this vein, does the White House still plan to issue an executive order banning mail-in voting, and what legal authority do you have to do that?
The White House is working on an executive order to strengthen our elections in this country and to ensure that there cannot be blatant fraud, as we've seen in California with their universal mail-in voting system.
Who is it talking about? Newsom or something like that? Somebody in the chat was talking about Newsom a lot there. Sorry if I missed your name there. But anyway, whoever it was talking about Newsom and things like that. Do you guys have a lot of mail-in fraud and everything? I know Oregon does, but yeah, see if you agree with her take here.
It's absolutely true that there's fraud in California's elections. It's just a fact. It is just a fact. They have a universal mail-in voting system, which we know is ripe for fraud. And if you want to deny that, I'm happy to provide you all of the evidence for it. I'd be glad to send that to you after this briefing.
Rigged.
Fraud is rigged. When you allow fraud, then bad guys can kind of make it rigged in their favor. Journalists, they should know kind of how criminals think, right? Isn't that kind of part of their job type thing? You know how good people should be. You should also know how bad people can be. If a system is helping and allowing fraud and getting away with it, so if you can get away with fraud, and you have two opponents here, and one opponent can get away with fraud, what can they do to the election? Rig. But in case YouTube wants to know, all elections are fair and balanced and all that fun stuff. Good. Perfect elections. I'm just saying what I'm hearing on this news report here.
Fraudulent ballots that are being mailed in the names of other people, in the names of illegal aliens who shouldn't be voting in American elections. There's countless examples, and we'd be happy to provide them. As for executive action the White House is taking, yes, we are looking into that. And like any executive order, of course, any executive order the president signs is within his full executive.
They must have done a lot of checks and balances in 2020. How long were we waiting to hear the California results back in 2020? In 2022, I think also. In 2024, how long does it take to? I know there's a lot of people in their place and everything, but you don't really have to have all of the things in one place. You can just simply say, this county had this many people, this county had that many people, rather than having them all together, because evidently they can't add very big numbers together for some reason.
Authority and within the confines of the law.
I think you're talking about back in 2000 for that one, back in the Bush and Gore days. Yes. There's another smart person, I think, here. Let's find out here.
Moving out of a blue state. This is a PSA from all of us in red states. If you are moving out of a blue state to a red one, do not come here and vote the very shit that drove you out. If you are leaving a blue state because the cost of living is too high, because quality of life, because it's now too dangerous, have some self-awareness and recognition that you are moving to a red state, and do not vote the exact thing that drove you out of the blue state. Please, we beg you. And yes, I am talking to you, New York, who is about to run out of New York City because of Mom Donnie. And they are running to red states. Don't vote the shit in. We don't want it. We don't want it. U-Haul growth states of 2024 are the top 5 states that people are moving to.
South Carolina, Texas, North Carolina, Florida, Tennessee.
Carolina, Texas, North Carolina, Florida, and Tennessee. What do they all have in common? They're red. Okay. U-Haul bottom states that people are moving out of: Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, Massachusetts, and California. What do they all have in common? They've been ruined by woke liberal ideologies. So please do not vote the same way you did if you are moving to a red state.
Please. But the problem is some of the regular liberals type Democrats or whatever will say, no, it'll work better in Florida. Democrat policies will work better in Florida than they did in New York City. Please let me vote Democrat. It'll be a good thing. Like, no, either don't vote or just use your brain before you vote. Okay. Try those two things. Use your brain. It didn't work in New York. It didn't work in California. It didn't work here. So please tell me where your Democrat policies work well, and or everybody can sort of nonsense. Do you guys want to read what Barack Obama had to say? He said, congratulations to all the Democrat candidates who won tonight. It's a reminder that when we come together around strong, forward-looking leaders who care about the issues that matter, we can win. We've still got plenty of work to do, but the future looks a little bit brighter. Very Rooseveltian there, Mr. Obama. What was this? Charles Dow. I don't know.
Congresswoman, do you agree with Zoran that we should globalize the Intifada? You were just with him this morning. You guys had a very nice breakfast. I saw you. I saw your sign.
Congresswoman Mandani, the future leader of the Democrat Party.
Did she have a sign that said globalize the... He probably did, but interesting. Here's the Mickey Sherrill, or future Mikey Sherrill. We'll see.
Here in New Jersey, we know that this nation has not ever been, nor will it ever be, ruled by kings. We take oaths to a constitution, not a king. We've chosen liberty, the very foundation of democracy.
How is an entire campaign for a governor basically surrounded by no kings? We're not going to have kings. As you're literally a governor representing a United States as one of those states. And the person in charge of those states is a president, executive branch, not a king. A king would have what they call a viceroy in charge of a certain area that they don't like. Are you going for the viceroy? Because the way you get a viceroy is to beg the king or whatever, or give him a lot of money, and then he allows you to become the viceroy of Virginia. That's how a king type thing works. Do you understand? Where in a Democrat republic, like we are, constitutional republic, you get the vote of the people of your state, of your United States. I'm not sure if she's aware of this. Maybe she didn't go through 7th grade constitution class.
And we've chosen prosperity necessary to create opportunity for all. So New Jersey, quote the boss, the future is now. Roll up your sleeves, let your passion flow. The country we carry in our hearts is waiting. Here in New Jersey, we know that this nation...
How do you need the teleprompters there also? I'm like, you should sort of have your victory speech that you've probably been practicing for about a year by now, kind of known by heart, and basically know the basics of what you're going to say, kind of thing. You don't need 2 teleprompters there reading all the words off of them to sort of know how you feel and things like that, but whatever. And a Kasperian, I don't care actually. There's another AOC. Maybe you can actually hear her this time.
These things, like what's gotten into her lately. Oh, like she's bucking against Trump. She's bucking against the administration. Marjorie Taylor Greene wanted to run for Senate in Georgia. She wanted to run for Senate earlier this year in the state of Georgia. She wanted to be the Republican nominee for Senate. So
Good point, Spaceman.
she was gearing up for that statewide race, and Trump told her no. Trump said no. And the White House and Trump land shut down Marjorie Taylor Greene's personal ambitions to run for Senate. And she has been on a revenge tour ever since.
Oh, isn't it weird how Democrats can evidently read minds or whatever of everyone, that they somehow know what's going on in the minds of right wingers? You know, you ever notice that, you know, when you're watching some of these debates, things like that, and people say that Trump is planning on doing this. Trump is got in his heart that this is going to happen or something like that. Like, okay, for somebody who doesn't like the guy, why do you think you know the guy? You know, it's like, you know, if you know the guy and you like the guy or whatever, then maybe you can understand his thoughts or whatever, thought process. But when you don't know a person and you despise a person, how does that give you any knowledge about what's going on in their head? You know, not so much there. What do you say?
Mamdani, next mayor of New York City. This speech. So that's the royal family in our party. Defeated them. Defeated the oligarchs and rich folks who jumped in to try to stop them, and then defeated Donald Trump. So the triumphalism that you see there is earned. A year ago, nobody ever heard of the guy.
How did he defeat Trump? What?
Democratic Party royalty. The Cuomo, that's a royal family in our party. Defeated them. Defeated the oligarchs and rich folks who jumped in to try to stop him, and then defeated Donald Trump.
Was Trump running? I wasn't aware that Trump was running for New York City mayor. When did this start? I don't remember him running. I think he's already president. You know, he doesn't really need another job. You know, he's busy enough. How is Trump involved here? Trump didn't say anything about Silwa, the Republican guy there. He made fun of Cuomo that was there in his last little interview and things like that. That probably didn't help or hurt Cuomo. So how in the world did he defeat Trump? Trump wasn't running. Nobody he liked was running. Nobody he thought could win was running against Orhan.
So the triumphalism that you see there is earned. A year ago, nobody ever heard of the guy. And the younger people who I'm hearing from feel a great deal of relief and pride, and they're fired up, and they feel they've been silenced for too long. So that speech appealed to some. But I think he missed an opportunity. I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer.
I don't know the family. I'm guessing that's an Indian lady that's the parents of his wife or whoever that person is there, because he's Muslim, and I don't think many Muslims have the dot on their forehead.
Who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. And I think that Mamdani is the one you need to hear from tonight. There are a lot of people trying to figure out, can I get on this train with him or not? Is he going to include me? Is he going to be more of a class warrior even in office? I think he missed a chance tonight to open up and bring more people into the tent. I think his tone was...
Or maybe it is his mom. Maybe is he a Muslim on his dad's side or something like that? I'm guessing maybe that's the case.
Sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. And that's not the Mamdani that we've seen on TikTok and the great interviews and stuff like that. So I felt like it was a little bit of a character switch here, where the warm, open, embracing guy.
Yeah, I saw that picture with him and Soros's young son being buddy. So curious where he got all the money out there to kind of run that campaign. You know, it's curious how, you know, this guy says the oligarchs were on the against him or whatever with Cuomo and things like that. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the major oligarch, if you will, was on Zorhan's side. That's enough of that. We'll get through this. We're almost done here. We got that one done. Oh, sorry. Back to this one. Get rid of that one. Did you see what Trump was saying? Trump wasn't on the ballot. I'm not sure if you just watched that speech. Wasn't on the ballot and shut down were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight, according to the pollsters and according to Trump and most everybody with common sense, you know, or nobody with I think there's nobody with major name recognition, nobody that kind of strongly supported Trump, you know, at that point there was on the ballot there. In New Jersey, though, if the Citarelli guy was more of a Trumper, would it have helped him or hurt him? You'd never know at that point there. You know, would he have gotten more people that don't vote for politics to do that? Maybe. Virginia, Winsome Sears was not exactly a big Trump fan, you know. I already watched that basically. Pritzker, I don't really like to hear what these guys have to say, but just to hear the other side. Elections across Virginia, New Jersey, Georgia, California, and Pennsylvania weren't just Democrat wins. They are a referendum on Trump's dangerous agenda. No, they're not. Voters sent a clear message. It's time for leadership that delivers, not chaos that divides. Like I just got through saying, the things these people are battling here, California is battling against Texas's redistricting, and there's nothing illegal about redistricting. Unless if it's race-based or something like that, then there's some laws there. What was the other thing? Anyway. Yeah, still hanging out there. Oh, I got a donation from somebody. Kitten in the house there. Thank you, Kitten. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for being a mod. I appreciate that. Do want to hear this guy's speech for 2 minutes and 36 seconds? Okay, this will be the last video anyway, so let's hear what he had to say here.
Conditions that allowed him to accumulate power. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one.
Good point.
So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up. We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants.
What's going to happen if you kind of go against the landlords? Are they going to want to lose money by sort of freezing their rent and things like that and still have to do all the same things with major regulations that he's going to likely impose? Or are they going to want to sell that property for the lowest price possible and get out of town? I'm pretty sure the latter is going to happen there. And what happens when you sell cheap and everything and allow it to kind of be things to go cheap? Yeah, you know what happens.
We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks.
Interesting. What's going to happen when you try to tax the people that are making money and producing in your city and making a lot of money and everything, and you raise their tax rates in your city government? And also, just FYI, not only do the rich try to avoid tax breaks and loopholes and things like that, the poor do also. They can read. They can see, like, okay, maybe they won't find out about this little donation that I made here, or they'll sort of say, for my little tiny job about making puppets or something like that, then I'm going to sort of say every time I went to dinner with my friends, I'm going to consider that a business expense. It's not just rich people that try to find loopholes in the tax system, you idiot. I know it's a stupid different talking point, but I'm sick of it.
We will stand alongside unions and expand labor protections because we know, just as Donald Trump does, that when working people have ironclad rights, the bosses who seek to extort them become very small indeed.
He's right about this. He's right about this. When you give too many regulations and allow too much rights of workers to have a 2-hour lunch and get paid more and all that stuff, it does kind of lower the bosses that are in charge, right, guys? You know how far it lowers them, you know? They're like, okay, I'm done with this business. I'm going to close down this business. Everybody that was working here no longer has a job. I'm going to build a plant or something like that over in this other state over here, Texas, Florida, where they love that I have a business. They want more money. They want as much taxation from various forms of taxation from more people and everything, not just from the person in charge of that business. So they're gonna, you see how that's gonna work there for you, buddy? But yeah, you're right. It's gonna lower the owner and everything so low that he's gonna go. Hey, that rhymes.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant.
Nothing technically wrong with that as long as you're an American citizen running for government is fine. He's trying to make everybody think that illegal immigrants are just fine and things like that, and that illegal immigrants are okay or whatever. He's not saying illegal immigrants, but you can sort of get the sentiment that he's trying to get across to the far leftists that he's talking to. You think he'll bring that up next? It's going to be interesting how he handles a law and order situation there at that point there. If he's going to say, we need more psychologists to be police officers or something like that. I don't know.
So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
Was that sort of an unambiguous threat there? Maybe he didn't say it there. Maybe he said it later in his speeches, but is he referring to ICE? If he sends ICE people there, is he encouraging his people indirectly about kind of defending illegal immigrants there? He just brought up immigrants. So they have immigrants on their mind, right? And is that if Trump wants to get to immigrants in his mind, then he's going to have to go through all of us. Is that the indication that you kind of get from that? He didn't outright say that he wants people to break the law and restrict the federal government and things like that, but that's what I'm hearing the implication. Yay, Mamdani. Yay. Hey, we're done with that one. Let's see if there's anything else that was in my homepage here recently. Female Mamdani voters. Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Oh, seriously? Did they actually say that? Or is this kind of this has got to be a meme, right? Is this a meme? Please tell me this is a meme if they don't know what Sharia law is. As they're publicly talking with their faces uncovered. Please tell me that. People are not the stupid, guys. People are not the stupid. No. Please tell me no.
It just makes me feel good. Sharia law starts now. Absolutely. Zohran Mamdani, Islamic Caliphate.
No, she's got a Zohran shirt on. She actually means what she says. Yeah, but he wants to be nice to the Jews, and these are the kind of people that are supporting him.
Our brother in Islam, Islamic Cal.
You understand, if there was somebody who wanted to enforce Sharia law right now with you, what would happen to you? Are you guys like shaking your heads too? Like, what the heck am I watching?
Elevate of New York starts today, baby.
God, there is just something so electric, so satisfying about knowing that my MAGA parents, wherever they are probably
Wherever they are. Obviously, you left the house and went to a indoctrination camp called a university and forgot all about your parents.
having a horrible night tonight. Oh, I literally just got goosebumps thinking about it. Like they are in such a bad mood probably about the fact that Zoran just won and Prop 50 is gonna pass. Like, wow. God, I'm sorry. It just makes me feel good.
Well, maybe if they live in California or New York, they're probably not feeling so good. If they live in middle America in a red state or whatever, they're probably saying, not good, but it doesn't affect me.
That my MAGA parents are probably upset right now.
When the day starts with Dick Cheney being dead and ends with Mamdani winning. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh,
Happy somebody died that you disagree with.
my God, I'm so happy.
Sharia law.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We got to end up with happy news, guys, don't we? Been over an hour of this. Let's find some happy news out here. Senator Rosen, I don't know who that is. Bernie Sanders is not a happy guy. Oh, but the interviewer guy might be losing a hand. No, that's not true. She's not a happy person. That's not a happy place. Give me a happiness. Give me a happy video. Yeah. The other day I got in trouble for putting up a parody video or something like that, so I don't do the parody video or something like that out there. Nick Shirley, crazy person. Hopefully this is good news here. Eliezer Perez the other day, he does the interviews and things like that out there. Hey YouTube, my Gmail is hacked. I had 0 prior issues. One of our team members said they would reach out via DMs, and I haven't heard yet back. Can someone help? Doggone it. I'm going to repost this, guys. If you guys are on my Twitter, find that repost and help Eliezer get back on YouTube or whatever. I'm guessing he got taken down because people at the Portland State event he went to, and Tommy Boy was there and doing all that stuff there. They don't like him there, so he likely got mass reported for something there, as well as allowing the hack to happen. Because he wasn't getting hacked for just doing regular speeches at things like that, but because he allowed Tommy Boy to kind of be around or whatever, that sort of got more hate and more aggression towards him, including getting him hacked. So if Eliezer Perez here, I'm just going to copy his. Actually, I'll just copy that particular. Copy link. You guys are following my Twitter though, right? But just in case you're not, make sure you follow Eliezer Perez and give that a repost over there, guys. I appreciate it. Let's see. I gotta find the good news here before we go here. What's some good news? What was this? 10 Democrat leaders, this is 10 hours ago, and Hakeem Jeffries have sent a letter to the president calling for a bipartisan meeting to end maybe you should have done this 30 days ago, to end the GOP shutdown of the federal government and decisively tackle the Republican healthcare crisis. The Republican healthcare crisis. You mean the Republicans that are trying to help your health system by getting rid of certain things in our foods and things like that? That's what's his name is doing. Well, even though he's technically a Democrat, I think still, but yeah, that healthcare crisis. Oh my, the way they word things is so disingenuous. Trying to find something positive here. Cam Higby. Yeah, not a whole lot of positives here. Give me some positive news on this app. Come on, give me something. No, not positive. Here's Trump saying something here. Trump shares a speech to the Jewish coalition. That's positive, but it's not the kind of positive I want. That plus it's on YouTube, and I can't bring up New Jersey State too many times. I think she's happy that Mamdani won. That's a crazy guy from Coeur d'Alene. Oh my goodness, there's got to be something happy here. Okay, here we go. Here's good news. Finally found something good. This was Frontlines, University. Bo Diddle's at there, I guess. Where is it at? Auburn University, down south, of course. But still, there's still young people out there that want to go hear a positive, conservative message about kind of having your rights and kind of standing up for them, and not sort of kowtowing to Democrat policies. A lot of people there. A lot of young people. And one thing Alabama and Auburn agree on is like kind of lean conservative to at least more than some colleges. We'll see. Well, we'll see. You're thinking the filibuster is going to happen first on that one. I'm hoping they don't have to do the filibuster. I'm hoping that Democrats will be sensible and, open the government up now that they feel like they got their win here or something like that, or maybe or whatever. They can sort of have this meeting, a little private meeting or something like that, and have Trump promise in their minds, to have a discussion about healthcare after the government shutdown. That would be a win for both sides or something like that. Trump's not going to put it in writing, but Thune's already said, yeah, we'll start to talk about healthcare next if you guys come to the table. But they haven't came to the table yet. So by doing the shutdown there, maybe if they want to hear it from Trump's ears or whatever, that healthcare is next on the agenda or something like that. If they get that, then they get their win or whatever, so to speak. That would be a decent compromise for everybody. But Trump better not give in to anything more than that. I don't think he would. Hi, Bot, you're busy. If you guys are in the Discords or whatever, where you have a conversation about different things, my Discord's kind of cool. You don't have to like it, but it's just a place where you can sort of share your thoughts or something like that. And I put up Bible verses over there at different times. And you guys can get a hold of me. Yeah, even just sent me a message. I'll look at that later. But it's a place to kind of get to know people and things like that in a different place. I know you guys like Tommy Boy and places like that, but if you want sort of a cool place to talk with other conservatives, I do have a debate channel, so sometimes I allow some lefties to come in there or whatever, and you guys can type it out and find out what their side is and things like that too. So mainly it's 95% right wing. So
I mean, we're gonna get the whole crowd, yeah.
That's a lot of people showing up for a speech. I'm not sure who's speaking at this event here. It's nice to see a lot of people show up for get happy about something good happening down there. And it's hard to see what he's doing so fast, but people of all ages out there, not just they're super young and super old. There's people of every age level and ethnicity out there. Yes, predominantly white, but it's Alabama. So. Alabama. Is that how they say it down there? Is that the other spelling or pronunciation? Okay, I just want to end up with something positive there. I don't think there's any other positive stuff there. Already saw that. There's an interesting shirt there. BCP must know somebody there. Anyway, that's pretty good for tonight. All right, as I'll try to come on later on. Let me check and see if there's anybody live out there right now. I should have been doing. Actually, wait. Let's see what Scott Pressler had to say. It's August 29th. Never mind. 2 minutes. There's a Nick Shirley conversation with someone here. Why not?
Get a paycheck of what, $5.95, $7.95 an hour, you know, doing hard work, really hard work. I would like to take a bus full of all these people that have never done field work to work in the, I was a farm worker for 10 years. Then as an adult, I got a social work degree, okay? So, and I'm a U.S. citizen. I was born in Texas. Yeah. But I'm one of the fortunate.
Just FYI, if you guys haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. For some reason, I'm losing subscribers or whatever. I thought I was trying to be nice, give you some entertainment here, but yesterday I had 4,025 subscribers. Now I have 4,022 subscribers. So if you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, it's pretty easy to see or something like that. If you need help finding it, somebody can point to where it's at down there somewhere, okay? I appreciate that. And as long as I keep it above 4,000, I'll try to get out there to the ICE building in the next few days if it stops raining, but we'll see if it stops. See what's going on down there, and maybe we'll have a few more subscribers. But anyway, I appreciate you guys hanging out there. Let's check and see if there's anybody cool out there doing anything, other streams.
People that was born here, but I was still a migrant. I was still a farm worker, so I know the hard work. You know, bending down, picking up bushels of apples.
That poll question, thank you guys. 79% say all of the above. That's a good answer. Good answer on that one there. But of the other three potential options, you're saying the be what they want. Yeah, it's basically the brain dead. The 2 + 2 is whatever they want it to be. You know, they're basically that's saying that they're not really teaching kids basics. You know, so yeah, you're thinking that's kind of the primary thing that's not being taught in New York City schools. You know, yeah, socialism not a good thing. Taken from people for money. Anyway, keep going here.
Yeah, there's no doubt the immigrants do a lot of hard work here in the United States. I think people are just kind of upset with how many people came in, and because you had mass immigration, now you're going to have mass deportations, and now you're just seeing it kind of at a new level that's never really happened here. But there's still only 500,000.
The U.S. was formed with immigrants. All the people that came from Poland, that came from Italy, that came from
that was 250 years ago.
Yeah, but they're still immigrants. They still came. A lot of them didn't come with a visa or with a documentation. You know, not everybody came like that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of
different
them
time, different circumstances.
A lot of them came as slaves too. You know, and the immigrants back then formed the U.S. Immigrants right now are sustaining U.S. You know, the hard work. If all the immigrants that are working for low pay just didn't work for a day, what do you think would happen? Restaurants, hotels, farm work, who would do that work?
I mean, they'd have to go find some unemployed Americans and fill the jobs. I don't know.
They don't want to go. They don't want to do it.
Maybe they would.
I lived in Washington State, in the farms. There was no Anglos or people that were born here that wanted to go to the minimum job work.
All righty, guys. And we'll end off with a song, and then I'm going to raid you over to Marte. He's having a debate with somebody about trans women are women or something like that. And his take is that, yeah, they aren't women or whatever. So if you guys want to hear a good debate from a good debate guy or whatever about that, we'll check that out. Since you guys did not supply enough fundage for me to make a new song, I will still be nice enough and play an old song for you here to give you some musical taste here or whatever. So which song should we go with here? Let me find this thing here. There it is. If you guys like music or something like that, you can do that. And if there's some streamers out there tonight, I might come back on later and restream or whatever and talk about some other news or something like that if you want to, probably around 8 p.m. or something like that. But for now, we're going to play a song and then raid you over there. This one is called... not that one. So with an oldie but a goodie. How about that? Proud to be a boomer. Proud to be a boomer. We were talking about a lot of boomers out there that were out at some of these protests, like you see here. Let's see. This was a classic here. If you like this one here.
I remember when the jukebox sang and we danced till the lights went dim. The streets were safe, the air was clean, the world didn't feel so grim. A nickel bought a soda, a dime a dream. Now the past feels far like a rushing stream. I'm proud to be a boomer, where at least I know I'm sane. Though my knees may creak and my back complains, I'd gladly rise from my wheelchair, stand next to you, and I won't forget my medicine like I always do. Bridges, we paved the roads, we worked with calloused hands, watched the moonlight touch the stars, and we made our family plans. Now the world spins faster like a wild parade, but my roots are deep and they never fade. Don't call me old, just call me wise. I've seen the truth behind the lies. I'm proud to be a boomer, where at least I know I'm sane. Though my knees may creak and my back complains, I'd gladly rise from my wheelchair, stand next to you, and I won't forget my medicine like I always do. Now the surf guitar's a call from the past, riding waves of time that'll always last. Banjo's picking a story untold, fiddle cries out, young hearts turn old. Be a boomer, where at least I know I'm sane. Though my knees may creak and my back complains, I'd gladly rise from my wheelchair, stand next to you, and I won't forget my medicine like I always do.
All right. Thank you for watching, guys. When I send you over to Marte, I forgot to tell you what you guys can tell me. He's probably going to be busy debating over there, but it's going to be a good discussion there if he's still over there at the time there. If you guys want to copy and paste a message there, Mr. Bill to know daily size. Because he's pretty well built too. You might recognize Andrew's kind of exercise guy too. So this is the question I'd like you guys to ask him. If you want to copy and paste this and put it over in his chat when you go over there, I would appreciate it. Okay, there we go. Thank you. And we'll talk to you guys all later. I'll do a 30-second countdown, and as you guys head over that way or watch whatever you want to watch if you want to. But if you do want to, do me a favor and copy that last line that I put there. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter and all that other fun stuff. Subscribe, get on my Discord, all that fun stuff there. Actually, I'm going to check and see if Yahia's message was something critical real quick here. Hold on. Oh, she just did something there. I don't know what that was. Oh, it's just, I see. That's what, okay, never mind. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Here we go. I'll see you guys later, Gators. Here's that 30-second countdown thing. Eventually here. And feel free to say some other stuff in the chat. I'll pop your thing on the chat if you say more stuff at the end of the stream here. Oh, wait. End stream. There it is.